There was a specific moment in antiquity when the entire cosmos stood on the edge of total collapse. Two opposing forces, the gods and the demons, forged a temporary alliance. They were driven by a single objective: extracting the nectar of immortality from the depths of the cosmic ocean. This diagram illustrates the mechanical process they engineered, known as the Samudra Manthan. Using Mount Mandarachal as a central axis and the serpent Vasuki as a tether, they spun the mountain to churn the waters. The friction generated by this rotation was immense, creating a force powerful enough to pull divine treasures directly to the surface. But the focus on extracting power left both factions blind to the side effects of their experiment. They were pulling more than just treasures from the deep. The relentless churning eventually reached a breaking point, shattering the internal balance of the ocean. Instead of immortality, the ocean erupted with the Halahal, a dark, dense, and incredibly toxic byproduct of their design. The Halahal was a substance of total lethality. Its concentration was so high that even a microscopic amount could break down the living structures of the entire universe. The churning had backfired. In their attempt to synthesize eternal life, the gods and demons had instead surfaced a wave of inescapable mortality. As the toxic environment began to degrade the space around them, the gods and demons abandoned their posts and retreated. There was no protocol for this. No faction involved had the biological resilience or the knowledge required to contain a leak of this magnitude. Into this vacuum stepped Lord Shiva. He moved toward the toxicity with a steady, unaffected composure, contrasting the panic around him. Shiva occupies a unique position in this hierarchy. As a deity associated with destruction, he possesses the specific internal strength required to hold a force this volatile without being consumed by it. When a system fails this completely, survival depends on an anomaly, a being capable of absorbing the damage that would otherwise destroy the whole. Shiva did not hesitate. He walked past those fleeing and directly confronted the erupting poison. He reached into the turbulent waters and scooped up the boiling Halahal, lifting the universe-threatening mass in his bare hands. To neutralize the poison, he had to take it into himself, using his own biology as the containment vessel for the negativity. A total silence fell over the cosmos. Every living being watched as Shiva began to consume the very substance that meant their end. In this act, the nature of preservation shifted. To save the world, Shiva did not repel the threat. He became the container for it. As the Halahal entered his system, it began to move towards his core. At that moment, Goddess Parvati intervened. She acted as a secondary containment seal. By firmly gripping his throat, she trapped the toxic energy at the neckline, preventing it from reaching his vital organs or leaking back into the world. The intensity of the trapped poison permanently altered Shiva's physiology, leaving his throat a radiant, glowing blue. This transformation earned him the name Neelkanth, the blue-throated one. His blue throat remains a visible mark of that containment. It serves as a reminder that stability is often maintained by holding dangerous forces in check, rather than assuming they can be erased. With the poison contained, the environmental collapse stopped. The toxic clouds cleared, and the cosmic ocean returned to its natural state. Within this narrative, the continued existence of the world is a result of this internalized sacrifice. Life goes on because a central power was willing to absorb the damage that would have otherwise ended it. This is the functional definition of Mahadev. He acts as the final barrier, taking in the world's destructive elements to ensure the safety of the rest of creation. It suggests that the highest form of leadership is the willingness to hold the world's poison within oneself so that others may live.